Not too bad. I don't know who's doing Boston this week.
I'm not sure. I'm definitely not doing that one. Yes. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we'll be on that game. But I know. Is it been
Champions League Arsenal score update?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, cheers.
Right, great.
Cheers, Cameron.
I've done it with Trent a couple of times. So, yeah. Wow, they are taking their time.
Hello everyone and a warm welcome here to Roots Hall this evening for Southend against Woking in the National League. Woking are coming to this game off the high of going into the FA Trophy semi-finals. When I spoke to Neil Lally after the match, he certainly wasn't best pleased with the performance, but getting in the hat was all that mattered. They were drawn against a rival's older shot away from home, so that should have been interesting. When that comes around, again, plenty more league football to play in that time. That's where Woking's focus now needs to be. And again, they come up against Southend side, who are just outside the playoff spot, 4 points to be precise. They'll be up for this one, needing that win to really start closing that gap on the likes of Altrincham. So let's talk you through the lineups then. 3 changes made for both sides, starting with Woking. So it is Hines, Okoli and Gorman in for Mazionis, Vincent and Lewis. The lineup in full is Will Yaskalainen in goal. So it looks to be a back 5 for Woking. Dion Evans and Adam Chickson as the wing backs. And looks to be Okoli, Akinola and Odosina in the middle of that back line. It will be Gorman, Hines and Andrews in midfield, with Buteman just playing in behind Effiong up front. As for Southend, they make 3 changes with Apai, Forson, Bon and Walker coming in for Coker, Parallon and Hopper. And as for the full lineup, it is Nick Hayes in goal. They also play that similar formation to Woking, so it's Gus, Scott Morris and Jack Bridge as the right and left wing backs. Harry Taylor, James Golding and Ben Goodliff as the back 3. And as for the midfield, it is James Morton, Keenan and Pye Forson, 2 out-and-out centre midfielders. Macaulay Bond playing that creative role in behind Josh Walker. And of course, former Woking man Charlie Kendall just joined Southend from Woking this season. As the substitute benches, Woking is Ollie Webber, Dan Moss, Jacob Jones, Den Lewis, Junior Marais, Jermaine Anderson and Frank Vincent. And as for Southend is Ansi Jacola, George Wynn, Danny Waldron, Joe Gubbins, Leon Parallon and Tom Hopper. Man alongside this evening is Woking just in their huddle at the moment is Ian Nicholson. Ian, back to focusing on the league now after the high of going through on penalties on Saturday.
Yeah, that was a bizarre weekend, wasn't it? Yeah, it is. It's back. Nice to be back, and as is normal for Woking at the moment, to be away. After Saturday against Boston, I think Woking will have played 8 of their last 10 games away. So we're used to being on the road, and but the team have done well, and a few of the bodies have come back, 2 or 3 out, but which will be a big relief for Woking fans, and I'm sure for Neil Ardley as well. Dale Gorman back in particular.
Yeah, absolutely massive to have a few bodies back, and we're underway here at Roots Hall for Southend against Woking. Woking have got us underway as Odosina plays it short on the right hand side. Kelly Evans pokes it down line for Hines, and Southend get that one clear. Yeah, good for Neil Ardley to have some bodies back in on the blow that Mazionis going off injury. Kelly Evans takes the throw just to front halfway on the far side. Hines returns it back to him. Kelly Evans to Odosina. Up with his right foot down the line. Beatsman's going to try and chase it down. Should be comfortable though for Goodlift to clear his lines towards halfway. Ball bounces into the Woking half. Header one there from Chinwike Okoli. And Gorman also back on the side, lays that back into the feet of Jaskelainen, the hero from Saturday. Jaskelainen, search for Chickson. And nodded away there by Scott Morris. Headed back from the centre circle from Gorman. And then offside flag goes up against Woking. On that occasion again, Ini Effiong, of course, scored the 2 goals to take it to penalties on Saturday. Looking to really build on that and get some big league form going as Woking want to extend that gap on the relegation zone further. Certainly though, form is looking upwards now. Still only 1 defeat on Neil Ali at his former side, York City. So ping forward from Hayes towards the right hand side, played back now into the feet of Golding. Here's Hayes just outside his box. There's green kit. Good head away there from Odosina. Touch there from Andrews, leaves it for Gorman. Gorman being pressurised here. Has to be cleared here from Jaskelainen out towards the right hand side, and I think Andrews wanted that ball, but Jaskelainen just had to get that one clear. So throw for Southend, just approaching the 2nd minute here. James Golden to take on the far side. Golden with a short throw. Nice tidy feet here from Bridge. Southend have it in midfield, now back square to Bridge, being pressurised in his opposite number, Beatsman. Bridge quickly turns and lays it back to Hayes. And now is Taylor. Effiong close proximity. Again, just goes back to his goalkeeper. Again, Hayes now sights a set to go direct towards the inside right. Looking for Gus Scott Morris. 14 goals his name this season. Scott Morris flicks on. Southend holding it up here. Good hold up play there. And now it's been given back to Scott Morris. Here's Southend with Morton on the right hand side. Tackle away from Chickson. Rolls in field to Scott Morris. Scott Morris now finds it in the middle for Golding. Now short pass here. And some defending for Woking to do. Crossing for Bridge on the far side, and Bridge puts it back in again. It was a block initially. I think it came from Okoli, and Bridge put it back in. Catch there for Jaskelainen, and some early pressure there in from Southend.
Yeah, and a half-hearted shout for a penalty as well, but there was nothing in it. No. I think they're probably going for Roots Hall is a great ground, but it also has girders, so that was right behind the girder. But they're calling for a handball. There's Effiong grappling away with Taylor.
There certainly should be a good battle tonight between the pair. Gus Scott Morris sends it long, headed away there. Odosina flicked on by Woking, and Gus Scott Morris sends it back to his goalkeeper, but on the byline just about clears it away.
Nervy.
Not the pass that Nick Hayes would have wanted to receive. It's now left for a Woking throw here on the left hand side. Jamie Andrews to take. So Jamie Andrews now setting his sights here to get this one into the box. So Jamie Andrews now level with the corner of the area on this near side. Andrews towards near post and ball bobbling, and Southend can come away with the ball now. Let's send it long to Kendall. Blocked, falls to Andrews. Woking have it inside left, close to the box. Gorman lifts it into the area, headed away. As far as Effiong, bit of heavy touch. Falls in the deep for Hines. Was Hines foul? Falls to Effiong again. Good shot there from Effiong with his right foot, and pushed away from Hayes for a corner kick to Woking. 4 minutes played, and first effort from the Cards there from Effiong.
Yeah, great shot from Ini Effiong there on the turn. Ball bobbled along, and he caught it well, but a good save, and but a corner now to Woking.
Yeah, Effiong snaps it well with his right foot. Good amount of power on that, but in Nick Hayes equal to it to push that out towards his left hand side. Del Gorman to take the corner kick, and good for Woking to have their skipper back on the side now. So Del Gorman now to take the corner in from the right hand side. Can Woking take an early lead here at Roots Hall? Last 2 games in the sides have been goalless. Gorman towards near post, hits it to the back of net. What a volley there from Chinwike Okoli, right footed. That was outstanding. Beautiful delivery from Del Gorman. We know he's capable of that, but Chinwike Okoli take a bow. That was some strike on the volley with his right foot into the roof net to put Woking in front. 5 minutes played. Southend United 0, Woking 1.
Wow, well, pick that one out. That was beautifully hit from Chinwike Okoli, and the ball came over. It sort of went over the first branch of defenders and just dropped to him unmarked in the middle. I can see the Southend bench just with their arms outstretched saying, what happened there? But whatever happened, Woking are 1-0 ahead, and that was a beautifully struck shot from Chin.
It certainly was. How can Woking actually hang on to a lead away from home again? They did do it in the end at Dagenham when they were 2-1 up. There has been a few games, Hartlepool and Forest Green, where they've been battling points, but Hal Neil Lally would love another 3 points away from them. But early days here, but just a start that the Cards would have wanted. What a volley that was from Okoli. And in the Effiong, just see a little shove there from Apaya Forces. They're back on the way now with the Cards in front. Long ball sent from Taylor towards the right hand side, breaks it to Scott Morris, edge of the box, inside right, looks to play it down the right for Kendall, just a little bit in behind the former Woking man, and cleared away there from Okoli.
It's a long time to go, and it's important that Woking really settle again and don't relax and look to conserve their lead, but then hopefully probe for another one.
Good header there from Adam Chickson, and the throw for Scott Morris, and the throw here for the Southend right wing back to take. Apaya Forson returns it to Scott Morris. Scott Morris now zips, hands to feet. Kendall couldn't quite control it. Running behind there, but Olasina quickly clears away. Bit of a nervy moment as Walker was lurking in behind for Southend. Woking cleared through. Odyssey now flipped there from Buteman, and here come Woking through the centre circle with Andrews. Andrews now inside left, excellent challenge there though from Apaya Forson, and now Southend looks to get on the front foot. Apaya Forson pings it out towards the left hand side. Odyssey puts in a great standing challenge, right footed against Walker. Odyssey twisting, turning, goes short to Gorman. Gorman calmly now to defeat Kelly Evans. Now Kelly Evans goes direct, whips it down the right for Effiong to chase. Effiong put pressure on Goodliff, and Goodliff has to clear there. Brilliant challenge though for Apaya Forson a moment ago, because Andrews is away.
Entertaining start to the game, isn't it? Both teams have been on the front foot at times, and Woking have got their noses in front.
Short throw to Hind. Gives that away though. As he taking with Walker, a few yards beyond halfway. He's across to Scott Morris. Scott Morris now turns, good pressure there from Chickson, pressing high along with Buteman. Buteman heading towards the Southend skipper Taylor. Taylor though finds a nice pass to find Golding in room. Golding travels over halfway. Golding as Bridge wants it on his outside. Still Golding. Back into the feet of Morton. Morton now whips that towards the back post, and it's been turned behind, I think, by Adam Chickson there. Dangerous looking ball in from Morton, but Chickson got to it at Southend, looking to make a quick response.
This has all the makings of quite an entertaining game, really, on the evidence of the first 8 minutes.
They just certainly make a change from the last two games that when Woking at Southend and met, ending goalless. But certainly last season was a vital point on the road here, but the one at Woking was very, very disappointing for the Cards that night. So Bridge with a corner from the right hand side, and it's been missed in the end by the number 18 James Golding, and then Southend play it back on the left hand side again, completely missed the ball. Golding, that corner was whipped in. Taylor come forwards, the ball down the inside left, good sliding interception there on the far side by Odosina. Southend still have the ball. That's back on halfway with Keenan Apaya Forson. Slowly come forwards it. Apaya Forson just has Beatsman in behind him, squares it to Scott Morris, about 5-6 yards into the Woking half. Down the right hand side, volleyed away there from Okoli. Got Scott Morris, can't quite get under control, but bounces to Apaya Forson. Southend edge the area, turn there from Kendall, goes backwards to Taylor, square to Morton, the centre circle. Woking being slowly pinned back here. Golding midway inside the Woking off, 1-2 there with Walker. Golding out to Apaya Forson, just behind the box. Apaya Forson just edge of the D now onto his right foot, out towards Scott Morris, and too much on that pass there from Kin Apaya Forson, but better football from Southend, and in very early stages of this match, and Woking lead by goal to nil.
Yeah, lovely football there by Southend, and he was just waiting for Apaya Forson to pull the trigger, but he couldn't quite get the gap, and eventually it was a loose free kick, loose pass, but now it's a Southend throw right down on the touchline.
Yeah, link-up play there. Seaton and Chickson didn't quite work, and now it's a short throw, and of course Scott Morris puts the cross in, not the best of deliveries, and Gorman controls and clears out the box, only as far as Taylor. Southend skip out to Scott Morris. Scott Morris, edge of the box. Scott Morris puts a low ball in, cleared away from Okoli. Good work there from Chinwike Okoli to volley away there with his left foot, but Neil Lally puts a thumbs up there. Not sure who's talking to, but Scott Morris to the throw midway inside the Woking half. A Pye Forson to Scott Morris. Good tackle there from Andrews. Now Chickson Gorman, edge of the Woking area. Now plays it forward to Andrews down the inside left. Woking still in their own half. Beaton now. Here's Hines through the centre circle. Hines forwards on the right hand side. On Russian, Dion Kelly Evans gets to it. Beaton wants to receive the ball. Now gets it off Kelly Evans. Back here with the right back. Now Woking just calm things down just the front halfway with Del Gorman. First time from Beatman. And now Gorman whips it down the right hand side. Beatman edge the area, facing the sidelines, and now Beatman turns and he wins the throw there for Woking. He can hit that off his former Sutton teammate Ben Goodliff.
Yeah, Ben Goodliff. There's a few players, Southend players, Charlie Kendall, Macaulay Bond, Harry Taylor, all been at Woking at one point or another, and Ben Goodliff's dad Jason was also in the management team. So a few Woking connections in this Southend team.
Throw here on the right hand side for Woking, and Jamie Andrews again getting ready to look towards the near post. So Andrews, a long throw in to the box, ball bobbling around, but it breaks here down to Walker to slam it away for Southend. Ball bouncing halfway, and Kendall was appealing, he thought he was Paul. Chickson gives the ball away. Here comes Southend, then down the left hand side with Bond. Bond just carries out a play though in the end, and can have the pace there, Bond, but the touch with his left foot was too heavy.
He was really streaking away there. Also, to be fair, I think Odysseus called him up. He'd left the other two defenders behind, but Odysseus' pace is really impressive for a central defender, and he'd managed to recover. But in the end, it went out for a throw, so throw to Woking.
Certainly is key, that pace at the back for Timmy Odysseus. Filed Hartlepool's 1-1. That's a really good start in that match. Halifax lead Forest Green by goal to nil, so a couple of later scores around the National League. Woking have it here with Okoli. Okoli towards halfway, flick on from Beatman. Beatman trying to contest the ball, but good head away there from Taylor. Heads it square for Scott Morris on the bounce, searching down the inside right, doesn't have a runner though. That rolls back to Jaskalainen now. Just touch it back into his area. And again he'll look to see who he's going to go to next. Again as Akinola to his left. And now Jaskalainen in the end just toys us out there and picks the ball up. Andrews screaming for it. Jaskalainen still looking for the option he wants to go to. Rolls it to Akinola in the box. Akinola now clips it up towards Effiong, just over halfway. Effiong trying to hold up the ball. Good clearance there from Taylor. Drops here to Gorman. Chickson now looks to go down the left hand side. Good interception over Scott Morris. Keeps him playing. Links up with the Pye Forson. Scott Morris now across here to Golden. Nice pass there from Scott Morris, and now Golden coming towards halfway. Checks onto his right foot. Good lift now into the centre circle. Not the best of passes, and Effiong wins it off Morton. Beatman taps it to Andrews. Southend getting men back. Andrews lost his balance for a second. The referee then points for a Woking free kick. I didn't quite see what
he was caught. He was caught on the ankle, but was coming away. The ball was a soft one, but he was caught after the ball had gone. So I suppose it was a free kick. And Gorman looks like he's looking to take it.
He's already got one assist tonight, Del Gorman. Could he maybe get another? Just approaching the 14th minute. Southend 0, Woking 1. So Del Gorman, a few yards in front of the centre circle, both arms raised, ready to deliver. Gorman now right-footed towards the back post and down the centre. Southend trying to clear it. So over, kick over the bar in the end. And it was a venturous look one that came from Harry Buterman. Again, certainly improvised that one, but couldn't quite keep that one down, Harry Beatsman. Again, don't blame him for trying to take that on.
Yeah, it was inviting, wasn't it? But it would have been probably one of the, if not goal of the season, very close. But he couldn't really keep it low enough.
So later scores in the National League: Files 1, Hartlepool 1, Aldershot 0, Dagenham 0, Barnet 0, Yeovil 0. Same scoreline team: Boston, Oldham, Halifax lead Forest Green by goals. With a flick on there from Bond. And now cleared away from Okoli. Andrews can't quite keep it in play there, so a throw to Southend on the right hand side. So Mayday 0, Braintree 1, Rochdale 0, Gateshead 0, Solihull 0, Sutton 1, Tamworth 0, Wealdstone 0, and York 0, Altrincham 0. And here at Roots Hall, Woking lead Southend by goals 0 in the first quarter now. A volley from Chinwike Okoli from a corner kick. Got Scott Morris with the short throw. Here's Walker. Pye Forson looks to hit that first time in the box. Good block there by Jamie Andrews, but Southend pushed high up the pitch. Another throw for Scott Morris to take, just by the corner flag on the right-hand side. So he's going to go for the long throw into the box, flicked on into 6-yard box, and Jaskline will catch it, count the top of a Southend head. I think that may have been Charlie Kendall, but didn't really get the contact he wanted. And an easy catch there for Jaskline. I think it was actually Goodliff that came off in the end. Very simple catch there for Will Jaskline. Now rolls it to Akinola. Here's Chickson. Scott Morris pushing high. Woking being pinned back. Akinola clears away. Can't find it. Effiong as Pai Forson intercepts 2 yards in front halfway. His pass blocked from Andrews, and that bounces out of bounds for a Southend throw, where Taylor goes back to Hayes. Hayes now again be looking direct down the right hand side. Hayes too far away for Bond. Try and rise to it. Akinola clears towards the centre circle with his head. Flip back from Morton. Golden to Goodliff. Place it diagonally over halfway. Scott Morris can't get the touch he wanted.
Sloppy that from Southend, from Scott Morris, because they're passing around quite nicely there, but it's those sorts of things that just lift the pressure off Woking a little, help them get the ball back and get back into their game.
Yeah, I think Neil Ali won a little bit more from Ini Effiong there. Chinwike Okoli, long diagonal ball, can't find Kelly Evans, cut out there to Bridge. Squared it from Morton, and Bridge takes heavy touches front halfway. Gorman drills it low. Woking in the middle of the South End now. Beatsman to Andrews. Andrews now has his eyes fixated to the left and plays that short and square to Chickson. Back to Akinola. Woking still just inside the South End half. Gorman by the centre circle. Gorman right footed. Now Chickson flicks up in the air. Can't link up with Andrews. Head away from Pai Forson. And now here's Walker. Walker travelling towards the centre circle. Now Walker left foot to pass. Can't quite find Bond. Well read there from Molosina. He's had a great start to the game. Now Tariq Hines down the right hand side. Hines has Beatsman calling for it inside and finds Beatsman. Edge of the box. Beatsman inside right. Effiong is back towards goal on the D. Pass it to Andrews. Here's Gorman. Woking about 25 yards to goal. Gorman's pass blocked. Peel Sam ball breaks it to Hines. Woking edge of box. Now played out to the right hand side to Kelly Evans. Slips when he put the cross in. Took a deflection off a Southend man. And that is a corner kick to Woking on the far side.
Yeah, Kelly Evans sadly slipping as he was trying to do that corner, but did get the corner.
Certainly nice little passing move there from Woking. Come forwards, and Kelly Evans, as Ian said, just slipped and didn't really get the delivery he wanted. But again, Del Gorman has already whipped in a nice corner from the right hand side this evening. Can he do it again? Can lightning strike twice, and can Gorman and Okoli combined once more? So Gorman now just set himself, gives the ball another quick bounce. That's frustrating the Southend fans. Certainly not liking that. Del Gorman now looks set to take it. Andrews is there's a short option. Gorman still hesitating. The referee is across now. Referee's had enough, and that is a yellow card for Del Gorman, which certainly is well received by the Southend United fans, and I have to say a bit of a silly yellow card there for Del Gorman to receive. Finally he'll take this corner from the right hand side. Gorman whips in towards near post, and Southend get it away. Andrews chasing the bouncing ball. Andrews back towards Gorman. Oldesina wants it in field. It goes to Gorman. It goes to Andrews instead. Andrews shot blocked. And now giving away here from Morton. Effiong intercepts. Effiong midway inside the Southend half. Inside left. Pai Forson looks to get the ball back. Free kick against Southend to the fury of the home fans.
Well, and also disappointment of Woking, I think, because Effiong had come away with that ball, and quite a dangerous position, but the referee made his call, and another free kick.
Yeah, great hard work there from Ini Effiong. I did see Neil Lardley about a minute or so ago just having a go at him, maybe not pressing enough, and again that was really good work there from Ini Effiong to pinch it back. And now Del Gorman to take the free kick, just over 25 yards from goal inside left. Southend squares the ball, and Southend fans frustrated at the moment. Not too far from the 20th minute here at Roots Hall, where it's Southend United 0, Woking 1. Chinwike Okoli's volley inside the 4th minute has the cards in front. So Del Gorman set to deliver. Gorman now. Again, the referee just stepping in, a bit of push and shoving going on. Just making sure that everything is fine between both sets of players before Del Gorman can deliver. It's a bit of a wait to take this free kick. Waits now over, and Gorman can deliver right footed. Scoot towards the back post, and it's flicked towards the back post, and good save there by the goalkeeper. Header came for the Tunji Akinola, and then Southend clear away through Morton. And now here's Andrews. Andrews, left-footed. Finds Gorman. Gorman back towards the box. Effiong, touch it down for Okoli. Odesina, left-footed, out to Kelly Evans, puts the cross in, headed away from Macaulay Bond. Southend pin back here. Kelly Evans, not the best of touches. Hines takes control of it, cuts in towards the box. Ball deflects off Hines as Morton's putting in the tackle. Now Southend can come forward through the centre circle. Heavy touch from Bond, but now clearance and Chickson comes off Bond. Bond gets away from Odesina, and Odesina fouls the Southend number 9. Free kick to Southend. But Ian, a moment ago, chance to make it 2-0 the header.
Yeah, very good header. It was on target, but cleared by Southend, and then suddenly Macaulay Bond's on the break. But well covered by Woking, but albeit giving away a free kick.
Yeah, Odesina demonstrating the referee didn't think there was much in that challenge, but I think he had to make that one. That certainly looked like a free kick from my angle when Macaulay Bond was racing forward for Southend. Again, Southend goalkeeper Nick Cage just receiving a quick instruction from Kevin Mayer, and now Morton clips the free kick in. Header comes off Okoli after a Bond head off the chest of Okoli. Chickson clears away out towards the left hand side. Here's Morton. Morton, few yards into the Woking half. Morton goes to diagonal, chests it down from Bond. Southend edge of the box. Kendall, now shot from Golden, blocked. Header away there from Kelly Evans. Header forwards from Southend. There was a kick there from Okoli, and that is a free kick to the hosts again. And looks like a yellow card as well for Okoli. Okoli going to clear the ball, completely missed it and got the man instead. Again, he just went straight for the back of Charlie Kendall there.
Yeah, just going to clear the ball there, and Kendall got in, nipped in ahead of him, so Okoli caught him, given a yellow card. And this is now free kicking, really a very dangerous position, just outside the D, probably 25, maybe 30 yards out, but bang smack in the middle of the goal.
Yeah, around about that range, and again, Woking certainly needs to be on their guard here. Again, Gus Scott Morris and James Morton standing by it. So let's see. Gus Scott Morris again certainly knows where the back of net is. Let's see if he can add another goal to his tally this season. So Gus Scott Morris, I think, will certainly be the man to take this one. Morton is still standing by, but Gus Scott Morris, body shaped diagonally, ready to, by looks at, to take this free kick for Southend. Can he draw the home side level? So now Scott Morris steps up with his right foot. It's on target, it bounces straight into the palms of Jaskalainen in the end. Not the worst attempt for Scott Morris, but pretty simple there for Will Jaskalainen to deal with.
Yeah, on target, bouncing, but Jaskalainen had his body right around it.
It's an awkward one for Chickson there from Jaskalainen, looking for Chickson, kept in play with his head. Now it's a Pye Forson into the feet of Morton. Played that between Effiong, back to Goodliff. Cross here to Golden, just behind halfway. Golden now turns onto his right foot. Here's Ben Goodliff, just behind the centre circle. Just over halfway to Taylor. Taylor now clips it over the top of Akinola. Here's Walker, edge of the box. Walker on the byline, turns. Has Gus Scott Morris with support and using Gus Scott Morris's cross. Really heavy one that travelled out of play for a goal kick to Woking.
That was a pity for Southend, because that was a lovely little ball down the line from Taylor, but really they didn't maximise it, and in the end the cross was pretty woeful.
Yeah, I'd have to second that, Ian. It certainly the player Gus Scott Morris quality. Expected better there, Jaskalainen. Short goal kick there to Okoli. Hines, and now Odesina. Again back to Okoli. Okoli whips it with his right foot, just over halfway. Head away from Golden, down the left hand side. Flicked on from Bond, now Southend holding up. Ball slipped through here, now is Bond in the box. Good tackle there from Akinola. Bridge up against Odesina. Southend level the penalty area, now play it back on the left hand side to Morton. Golden holding off Odesina, now turns and goes behind into Morton, pressing it for Buteman. As Woking now nick the ball back. And in the end, it's a foul there given against, well, a throw given in Southend's favour. Challenge there by Timmy Odesina, and now throw goes backwards from the home side. Here's Scott Morris on halfway, clips it up, header one there from Okoli, bounce here to Chickson. Now Chickson gives it away, First time from Morton to Scott Morris. Southend inside right with Scott Morris. Slowly come forwards and whips it with his right foot to Golden. Southend on the left hand side. Bridge faced up Kelly Evans. Now Bridge, can he send the delivery in? Bridge does fizz a delivery in. Good header there behind from Tariq Hines for a corner kick to Southend. Slowly pinning Woking back now.
And that came from a sloppy ball from Adam Chickson. Very uncharacteristic. But there have been 2 or 3 today where he's given it back to Southend, and they had the possession, and then they were able to build that dangerous attack. Corner to come.
So Morton to take it from the left hand side. Southend slowly building some pressure, but Woking defending very well here. So Morton drills it left footed towards the back post, looking for good lift, good flick away there. And that came off Effiong's head, it roll out for a throw to Southend. And more good defending from Woking. Still some more to do here in this period of Southend pressure. Scott Morris to take the throw, 26 minutes played. Southend United 0, Woking 0. Chinwaka Coley's volley in the 4th minute has the cards in front. Scott Morris, throw towards the near post, flicked on from Bond, and in the end it's headed away by Woking. It falls here as a shot pinged in, blocked there. Shot came from Morton, but again, great block there from Woking. Woking have a man down inside the box, and I think that might be a Coley that's down there, just received a whack when climbed for the ball. Yaskalainen standing over and see if he's fine.
It was certainly a hard shot. Wasn't quite sure where it hit him, but he stayed down. But
hopefully it's nothing too bad for Coley. I presume the medics are going to have to come there, obviously, to check how fine he is. But again, both sets of players just having a quick tactical debrief, and imagine a drink or two as well. So I'll just run you through the latest scores at the moment in the National League. FC File 2, Hartlepool 1, Aldershot 0, Dagenham 0. So it looks to be now, by the way, Coley back on his feet. And again, I think a few of the Southend fans are a bit annoyed that maybe he was play acting there, but I think that certainly was a painful one for Coley to take. Barnet leads Yeovil by goal to Eastleigh 1-0 up against Ebbsfleet. Halifax 1, Forest Green 0. Braintree now 2-0 up at Maynard. 1-1 between Solihull and Sutton. And Woking leads Southend by goal to all the games nationally this evening that have goals in them. And drop ball by the referee, and we're back underway here at Roots Hall. Good lift, goes long, and the end flick backwards to Akinola. Woking still under pressure. Chickson clears it away. There's left foot on the bounce. Comes to the head of Beatsman, rolls over halfway, but Effiong nowhere near it. And now it's Goodliff. Goes all the way back to Hayes. Short to Goodliff. And now Goodliff again slowly bringing it out defence. And he's the deepest defender at the moment, Goodliff. Goodliff to Pye Forson. First time square, passing halfway to Taylor. Taylor down the right hand side, nodded away from Akinola. Scott Morris hooks it back into the box, but headed away from Makoli to the left. Now Chickson looks for Effiong. Effiong pinning his man well. Effiong now just shot off the ball there for Pye Forson. Good dribbling to get away from Gorman. Pye Forson just behind the box. Good block there from Makoli. And now here's Bridge out on the left hand side. That was fantastic from Makoli. Bridge, edge of the box. There's a few men around him, so just drags it into the feet of Golden. Not the best of crosses from Golden. Nodded away from Gorman. Southend still trying to apply pressure. Now Bridge heads it backwards. Here's Goodliff just in front halfway into the centre circle where Taylor is. Shorten in front of him to Pye Forson, but in Southend,
a lot of Southend pressure now.
Most certainly in Woking. Struggling to get out there in half here. He's trying to get through this spell. Walker now down the left hand side, holding off Gorman on the byline, and Walker goes down. Gorman fighting to get the ball. Kelly Evans across as well, and that will be a goal kick to Woking. So good work there from Gorman and Kelly Evans to make sure that Woking got the goal kick there.
So back then the disadvantage to having a yellow card is on the edge of the box. It was a Pye Forson and Gorman going for a ball, and I'm sure Dale Gorman would have gone a lot more definitely, but Pye Forson came away and he couldn't risk giving away a yellow card.
So Yaskalainen short to Okoli. Back to Yaskalainen, clips it out with Zera, too far away from Akinola, and Woking didn't look comfortable there, trying to play out from the back. So throw for Southend. Half hour played it at Roots Hall. Woking leading by goal to nil. Cody's volley, but defended well. Woking think Nilali want to see a little bit more going forwards though. Last few minutes, long throw comes in, Woking trying to get it clear, comes to the head of Beatsman. Goodliff trying to go for a shot, scuffs, and it goes into the feet of Akinola to clear towards the centre circle. And now Taylor being chased down from Effiong. Taylor just lays it back to Hayes, but again, Woking defending for their lives from those long throws, which seem to be coming in a lot now. Golden in towards the centre circle, turns away from Beatsman, just beyond him to Goodliff. First time to Morton. Morton now drills it down the left flank for Kendall to chase. Coley cross, Kendall by the corner flag. Gets to it first. Heavy touch. That call for Coley or the last. It has gone in the favour of Woking. It's the fury of the Southend support and Charlie Kendall. So throw for Kelly Evans to take.
Woking playing a bit of a dangerous game this last 10 minutes. A lot of possession for Southend, a lot of territory, a lot of dangerous balls in. They've dealt with them very well, but it only takes one and suddenly the game's back level.
Most certainly. Throw release headed forwards to edge of the box, and now here's Kendall that has it. Kendall onto his right foot, curling shot wide the target in the end. And actually quite a bit wide, but great position for Kendall to set on. I'm sure would be desperate to score tonight, but not his finest finish there, Ian.
No, that was a deceptive angle. It suddenly looked as though it could be a dangerous one, but in the end, didn't it? It just went over the touchline. It's nowhere near the goal.
It's ended up going up for a Woking throw in the end for Chickson to take. Looking for Effiong, headed down there from Pye Force, and now Andrews. Square Hines, Woking still deep inside their own half. Olasina now in the box. Timmy Olasina into the feet of Coley. High pressing there for Walker. Lovely fit though there from Chimwako Coley to get side out of trouble. Akinola to Chickson now. Woking midway inside the half. Chickson slowing things down. Back to Okoli, middle of that back three. Okoli now picks out Hines. Gorman now, bit of chance for Woking to have some possession. Now Gorman goes a long ball towards Kelly Evans. That was a beautiful pass there from Del Gorman, but the flag goes up against Dion Kelly Evans. What a shame, because it was a beautiful pass from Gorman, but Kelly Evans just timed his run too early.
Yeah, you could see the move from Kelly Evans, and Gorman spotted it beautifully, but obviously just shaded offside. But all back with Southend now.
Here's Goodliff now to the feet of Golding. Goodliff, can Woking hold out on this 1-goal lead before half time? That's more like it though. Bit of chance to get the ball forwards there from Gorman to Kelly Evans. Obviously run was timed a little bit too early, but that's more what Noel Ali wanted to see. So here's Hayes now. Again, bring the ball further and further away from his area now. Down the right hand side, flick off for Gus Scott Morris, intercepted there from Akinola. Chickson clears. Here's Beatsman now, faces his own goal, just by the centre circle. Beatsman gives it away to Kendall. Kendall now, about 25 yards from goal. Good tackle there from Timmy Olasina. Just poked further away from Hines, but here's Morton in possession on the near side. Morton now, through the centre circle, into the feet of Golding. Golding first time, and that's really good work there from Olasina, pressing high to cut it out. Beatsman to Kelly Evans, Woking going backwards there, Gorman. Hines out. Hines forward pass, couldn't pick out Beatsman. Golden can come away there. He's charging down the left hand side. Golden now towards the D. Kendall gets it under control. Kendall slides it through. Chance here for Southend, and drilled into the back of net to level things up here. And that was an excellent finish from Golden, the centre back. James Golden certainly has that licence to go forth and left centre back. Made his way into the box. Woking caught napping, and Golden one touch with his right foot and just drilled it beyond Will Jeskalainen into the back of net. Southend level here.
Yeah, very well worked goal there for Southend, and it was a lot of interplay. And then Kendall played in Golding, and he had just took the first shot straight in. Nothing Jeskalainen could do. Game back level.
Yeah, and you were saying a moment ago, Ian, that Woking were playing a dangerous game, and in the end, Southend's the pressure has paid off. So now Woking need to readjust themselves and try and get on the front foot. So Woking have picked up some real solid draws away from home, but again, they did beat Dagenham 2-1, but obviously away from home away games have been a problem for the Cards this season. So now back on the way, Chickson to Akinola. So again, this Woking side have showed character though in recent weeks. They need to show it again to respond from Southend going level, getting away from Hines in midfield. Now apply Forson to Morton, so Southend had the momentum. Morton crossing for the left hand side. Coley, not the best clearance. Drilled over Kendall straight at Jeskalainen. Well, that was a better shot from Charlie Kendall this time in terms of getting it on target, but just couldn't find the corner straight at Jääskeläinen, but not the best of clearances there.
Yeah.
And Charlie Kendall caught that one really well with his right foot from the deep. And now Jääskeläinen searching for Effiong. Effiong wins the flick on. Now poke there from Buseman. Andrews head into the box. Andrews, good tackle there from Golden. Had to time that one well. Otherwise that would have been a penalty to Woking. Scott Morris clears down the right hand side now. A turn in from Bonnet, and it was a clear pull on the shirt there of Charlie Kendall by Akinola, and a few Southend fans are calling for a red card. That certainly will not be a red, and it'll definitely be yellow. Referee has a yellow in his left hand to show to Tanji Akinola, and Woking really to keep their heads here.
Yeah.
Southend having the momentum now, and Tanji Akinola goes into the referee's notebook, and clear pull on the back of Charlie Kendall. So Morton to deliver from the inside right, about 35 yards and goal. Let's see what he can do from this free kick. Morton. And Woking just desperate now to go into the way this game's going at the moment. Desperate just to go into half time level. So Morton now ready to take the free kick for Southend. Morton whips in left footed towards the back stick. Goodliff going to the ball. Goodliff heads down and well off the target in the end. Not a bad delivery though from James Morton, inviting one for Goodliff to get his head onto, but yeah, very comfortable for Jääskeläinen to watch that go past his right post. But certainly now the Southend crowd have really been lifted. They're chasing down those playoff spots.
Yeah, that equaliser was coming. It had been coming probably for 10 or 15 minutes, just with the pressure that Southend had, and Woking were handling it quite well, but as we were saying, it just takes one.
So goal kick set for Jääskeläinen, flicked on from Effiong. Buteman chasing down Goodliff. Goodliff back to Hayes, and that was not the best of kicks there from Hayes with his right foot. Swiped and it didn't get the contact he wanted at all, and sliced it out of play. Now chance of Woking to get on the front foot, and now Jamie Andrews, the man to take the corner at the throw from the left hand side, level with the corner of the area. So again, let's see if Jamie Andrews can cause mayhem in this throw. Again, short options. Gorman, he actually goes for the short option now in Gorman. Back to Andrews. Andrews delivers, header towards goal, comes off the post and almost drops Okoli, and the header there from Harry Buteman clattered off Nick Kay's right post. So close for Woking going back in front.
Firstly, that was a beautiful cross from Jamie Andrews, and Harry Buteman caught it so well, and right down to the ground level, but caught the post and going the goal, and but great header from Harry Buteman.
So a throw now to be taken long from Jamie Andrews, flicked away from Morton. Hines chasing it down. Hines now under pressure. Hines turns really well. Hines heading towards the box. Hines left footed delivery, and it falls here, and a shot towards goal for Okoli. Chance to get a second wide though. There was a slip there, and Okoli controlled it beautifully with his left foot, and with the same foot just couldn't guide it into the back of net. Hayes was left rooted to the spot. Still Southend 1, Woking 1, but more like it now from the Cards.
Much more. Great work by Tariq Hines. He was on the ball. He came out really quickly, and got the ball, managed to get the cross in, and it fell to Okoli, and he swiveled and shot, but it was just wide of the goal.
Yeah, it wasn't too far away from goal from Okoli, and at the moment Nick Hayes just receiving some medical attention at Southend United goalkeeper. I think there'll hardly be more buoyed now from what you've seen the last few minutes. Just give you some the latest scores in the National League while we have this break and play. File 2, Hartlepool 1, Alshot 0, Dagenham 0. Barnet now 2-0 up against Yeovil. Goalless team Boston, Oldham, Eastleigh lead Ebbsfleet by goal to 0. Same scoreline between Halifax and Forest Green, going in Halifax's favour. Braintree 2-0 up at Maynard. Goalless team Rochdale and Gators, certainly a game near the top end of the league. Solihull 1, Sutton 1. Tamworth 0, Wildstone 0, and York 0, Altrincham 1. And here at Roots Hall, it is 1 apiece between Southend and Woking, with Nick Hayes now fine to carry on.
getting nervy at the bottom, but it's also getting very nervy at the top, looking at those, particularly York, Forest Green and Barnet, who are really on a roll.
As it stands there, 9 points clear at the top, and Southend desperately chasing down likes of Altrincham for that playoff spot. Macaulay Bond clips it up, flick on one there from Walker, can't quite drop to Kendall. He's just desperate for that goal, Charlie Kendall. Akinola though needs to be careful on the yellow card. Akinola cleared that out for throw. So just under 5 minutes now to go. Normal time in this first half. Southend United 1, Woking 1. With James Golden cancelling out Chinwike Coley's opener, but Harry Beatsman hit the post for Woking. And then Coley could have got second himself, shot not too far wide. Just under a minute after that chance for Beatsman. Throw taken, headed away by the visitors. Drops back here to Gus Scott Morris, being pressurised from Effiong. Gus Scott Morris cross it towards near post and will head away from Gorman on the stretch. Andrews got his turned on it but couldn't prevent it from, in fact actually I think he didn't prevent it from going for a corner. Here's a corner kick to Southend on the right hand side. So they now looking to end this first half strongly and try and turn this game on its head. Corner to come in then from James Morton. So Woking just need to make sure now at least coming level at half time. So Morton delivers, left footed towards near post, good header away there, and it looks to be Kelly Evans who nodded that one away. Lifted back into the box by Taylor, ball bouncing, Yaskar needs to get to it, punch it away. Kendall chasing it down, and in the end a clearance there from Odosina for a Southend throw. Throw taken quickly, Bridge now trying to take it onto his right foot. Great pressure there from Odosina. Bridge though, back kills it down left for the Southend goal scorer Golden's crossing, punched away by Yaskalan. Effiong now charging forward, take on Woking on the counter attack. In the Effiong through the centre circle. What a tackle there from Pier Forson. Outstanding. That's not the first time he's done that this match. What a chance for Woking to get away. But now Southend down the left hand side with Bridge. On his outside to Golden. Golden sends the crossing, goes through everyone, and Chickson can watch that go for a goal kick to Woking. What a chance for any Effie on the counter attack.
He was just on the point, wasn't he? I think it was Andrews in or Budeman, and got that. A Pier Force and just got back and managed to dispossess him.
He's been excellent so far this evening. Keenan Pier Force and charging back and making those big tackles when Woking being come forwards at pace. And Effiong got his touch right and just probably maybe wasn't expecting a Pier Forson to get there again. Effiong maybe thought he had more time than he did. Yaskalan's goal kick. Flick on from Effiong down the left hand side. Beatsman can't quite get it under control. Good lifts there to clear away. Andrews just waiting to receive the ball from the Southend crowd to take the stroke. Now does get it, and Andrews just wondering. Andrews now just leaves it for Chickson for the stroke. So Chickson looking infield and then goes back now to Akinola, lets it roll into his own half. Kendall pressing from the front. Okoli first time to Gorman. Here's Akinola, cuts inside of Bond, keeps his balance well. It's on Akinola. Now Chickson halfway, flicks over the top of Gus Scott Morris. Now Andrews drifting in. Andrews heading towards the box. Andrews links up with Effiong, left side the area. In the Effiong now, back towards Andrews. Andrews is on. Andrews slams that cross in too high though, and that is over the bar and out of bounds for a throw to Southend.
Yeah, it was a throw.
So Jamie
Good
Andrews.
build up by Woking, just that final ball overhit, but there has been an entertaining half. Both teams have played well. Both have played some good stuff in places.
Yeah, I think Woking have responded well to the equaliser and took a chance their own throw taking. Now Gorman to Hines. Woking about 24 yards and goal. Andrews square to Chickson. Inside left. Chickson back here to Gorman. Gorman square. Buteman lets it run across him. Woking looking to build down the right hand side. Buteman now leaves it for Kelly Evans. Can he put a cross in? Not a lot of room to do so, so just taps it outside to Buteman. Buteman now twisting, turning, pokes it forwards to Kelly Evans. Now Buteman makes a run in the box. Buteman on the byline. Buteman looks to play across the face of goal, blocked, and Southend clear it through a Pier Forson towards the left hand side. And now Southend down the left here with Bond. Lovely touch, turn away from Odosina. Odosina, great recovery pace and a tackle. He won the ball there. Odosina, and now time for a code byline to get it under control. And then Macaulay Blunt just slams that out of bounds, putting the pressure on Okoli. And this isn't great for Woking as Timmy Odosina stretching when he made that tackle. It's gone down awkwardly.
Yeah.
And that really
really sort of put on the afterburners there. And on Saturday at the Oxford City, there was one moment near the end of the game where Odesina, I think, sort of pulled up a bit with his hamstring, but then the rest of the game he was fine. So covered, but whatever happened there, he just went down and stayed down.
That's the huge
just looking for cover, really. There isn't a natural cover at centre back, really. There's three on, which is Okoli, Odesina, and Akinola. Dan Moss.
That's what I was thinking
of. Or they go to a 4-4-2 and put a midfielder on, perhaps Jermaine Anderson, Frank Vincent.
Yeah, really need Odesina to be fine again. Huge blow having Mazionis out after picking up that injury at Oxford City. So Newell Ardley
talking to Denon Lewis there and pointing out some things. So
that's an interesting one. So I think maybe Denon Lewis to
maybe they'll go.
Come on.
Yeah, I'd maybe go to a 4-4-2.
So huge shame for Woking. Odesina, this doesn't look too good. Slowly back on his feet, and Den Lewis ready to come on shortly, I think, for Woking. So I presume we will be moving to a 4-4-2. So another defensive injury for Newell Ardley. Huge blow again. Got Ben Winter out as well, and Newell Ardley now letting his team know about he's calling Effiong over, so he'll be receiving the fresh instructions how Newell Ardley now wants the team to look, with Den Lewis set to come. Timmy Odesina again doing what he does best, last ditch tackle, but stretched a bit too far. He just tweaked his hamstring, and again, as Ian alluded to, he had an issue at Oxford on Saturday, but was fine enough to carry on, but not fine enough to carry on this evening. Just reminded, by the way, 4 minutes of stoppage time, there will be some more added on with this Odesina injury.
2 or 3, I would think.
Yeah, I'd think so as well. Then 2 minutes into stoppage time. So Den Lewis now ready to come on. Odesina slowly coming off here. The frustration of a few Southend fans, but can't move any quicker when he's pulled a muscle. So tough on the back for Newell Ardley to Timmy Odesina, and Denon Lewis is now on for Woking. So Denon Lewis again had that fresh pace up top for Woking. So I do imagine, as Ian said, this will certainly be a change of shape now for Woking, going to a back four. So Woking now hit this one forwards through Okoli. Clearance forwards again for Southend by Taylor. Woking, Southend, a pinch handball there against Woking, nothing given. Akinola now, there's the feet of Hines. Effiong holds it up, back to Gorman. Gorman over the top, down the right hand side for Buteman, try and chase behind Buteman. He's in on there, there's good tackle there. And the flag has gone up, but Harry Buteman almost gone in behind there, wouldn't have counted. Again, Buteman, that's what he's all about. There's runs on the shoulder. Good last ditch challenge anyway from Taylor.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 4-4-2, possibly, or possibly it could be a 5 with Denon Lewis as left back and Chickson moving more central. Too early to say.
I think Chickson, does look like Chickson's actually moved central for now. Head away from Woking from the Southend free kick. Ball given to Chickson there. That was a poor pass from midfield from Morton. Now Lewis over halfway. Lewis cuts in with his fresh legs. Back to Andrews, just the front halfway. Andrews has the overlap run of Chickson. Andrews left-footed. Effie on the stretches. In the end, hit that off his opposite foot when he controlled it with his right. Not the best of touches there from the F1, a bit of clumsy play. So throw for Gus Scott Morris to take midway inside his half on the right-hand side. Southend United 1, Woking 1. We're 4 minutes into the stoppage time, but with Odesina's injury, a little bit more added on. The 4 that were added on initially. Now Akinola clears away, just sees a bit of a challenge there by Macaulay Bond. And again, Southend players, I think Macaulay Bond's having a little bit of a smile there. Didn't think, again, maybe Akinola made a little bit out of that, but there was a bit of contact there from Macaulay Bond, so the ref did make a right decision, giving it a free kick to Woking.
He's been a top striker, hasn't he, Macaulay Bonne? His time at Woking really didn't go well, but that's often the case. If you're a lone player in a struggling team towards the end of a season, it's hard to really find your place. But once he went to Orient, it was like he just scored so freely for a few seasons.
Certainly in one of the league's best, Macaulay Bonne. Yaskon hits that one long, headed inside there from Effiong, can't link up with Lewis Stowe, cleared away from Scott Morris, and Macaulay wins the header on halfway. Now forwards towards the runner, Bonne there from Morton. He does pick out Bonne. Bonne, level the corner of the area, now plays it centrally to apply force and clips that towards the D, diving head away from Macaulay. Andrews back, giver Chickson's clear away, left footed too far for Ini Effiong there. But again, Chickson just needs to get that one clear. It's now heading towards a 6th minute of stoppage time. And again, imagine the referee at least 2 minutes extra will be added on. So throw taken with Southend. Woking have it back now with Del Gorman. Pinged out to the left hand side. Chickson under pressure. Good tackle there from Kendall. Kendall keeps in play, looking to get on the outside of Chickson. Kendall leaning into Chickson. Chickson makes the challenge, but leaning into Kendall first. I think he did win a bit the ball, Chickson, but yellow card to Adam Chickson again. Did nudge Charlie Kendall down first, and that is a free kick to Southend. And again, Kendall, that's what he does do best. Again, his goal return may be questioned at times, but he's so good at pressurising defenders, and classic case of Charlie Kendall there. So again, that means Adam Chickson is in the referee's notebook, and Woking certainly having a fair for yellows tonight. Yeah. That one fourth yellow card for Neil Ali's side.
A lot of players under pressure then for the rest of this game.
Yeah, certainly something to keep in mind. They're really going to have to keep their discipline. Such a tough place to go to, Roots. So free kick here for Southend to take, edge of the box on the right. Be delivered here by Morton. So Morton now, left-footed ball towards the back post, too high and out of bounds. The frustration of the Southend fans. And there goes the half-time whistle here at Roots Hall. Southend United 1, Woking 1. What a start it was for Woking. Del Gorman's corner from the right-hand side, met by a rifling right foot of Chinwike Okoli into the roof and net, but Southend grew in confidence and Woking start to sit back, and they deservedly got level. Southend, James Golden, some nice link up down the inside left by the home side. It was slipped through to James Golden, got him behind the Woking defence, free in the box and smashed it into the roof and net, but Woking responded well from that equaliser. Buteman had a header off the post, Okoli had a shot wide, knocked on after, and Woking had some decent pressure at the back end of the first half. But overall, the Indy Phil 1-1's a fair scoreline going into half time.
Yes, I do, and I think Southend, the home side, they had probably the bulk of the possession, and they had some good moves, some good opportunities, but also Woking, gave as good as they got. I mean, Buteman's header was beautiful, and there was a shot from Effiong, and so both teams, it's been entertaining. Both teams giving it their all, and so far an enjoyable evening's entertainment here in Southend.
I agree, enjoyable game of football so far, all to play for in the second half. Half time at Roots Hall, Southend United 1, Woking 1. Join us soon for the second half action. Hello and welcome back here to Roots Hall. Southend United 1, Woking 1. Second half about to kick off, and what was a very, very good first half between Southend United and Woking. Woking took the lead. Chinwike Okoli, fantastic volley, right-footed on the 5th minute from Del Gorman corner, but Southend grew back into the game just over 10 minutes before half-time. James Golden smashed home after a nice Southend move down the inside. Lever Buteman had a header off the post, and Woking started to grow in confidence a bit again after that Southend equaliser. So Ian, it's very finely poised for the second half.
It is. My big worry is that Woking have 4 players, I think, on yellow cards, which will mean, they won't be able to give their all, or Woking will end up going down to 10. So I think that is a real issue, and I think Southend grew into that half and were very strong. Woking tended to work on the break more. Iniefjong's worked his socks off up front, and as has Harry Buterman.
So it looks to be a substitution by the way for Southend. Tom Hopper has come on. Charlie Kendall is still on the pitch. It isn't for him, so I presume it will be Josh Walker, number 11, that has made way for Hopper. Southend to kick us off this second half, shooting from right to left. Let's see what this second 45 brings. Can Woking get a decent result away from home to keep up their decent away form on the Neil Lardley? So good lift goes long towards the right hand side. It deflects off Andrews for first throw. The second half to be taken there by Gus Scott Morris midway inside the Woking half. Quickly in the ball now, and Gus Scott Morris looks set to go long from this throw to have a short option of Pye Force, and made some great tackles at first half for Southend. So Gus Scott Morris with the run up, flings in the throw, well dealt with there by the head of Chickson. Effiong coming towards the ball, beaten to it by Pye Forson in the centre circle. It's cleared there from good lift for the middle, dealt with there from Woking, but now here's Southend on the ball with Bridge, edge of the box on the left hand side. Bridge cuts in, Bridge cross block from Hines, and then Pye Forson loses his balance. Now it's played from into the feet of Buterman. Buterman too far there in front of Denon Lewis. Came off for Timmy Odesina in the first half, and Gus Scott Morris just lays that back to his goalkeeper. Again, good work there from Woking to pinch it back midfield. Just that final ball to Lewis. Good enough there from Buterman. A minute into the second half. Ball sells over the head of Chickson, but breaks here now into the feet of Akinola. Gorman looks in the centre circle. Too far there in front of Buterman. Only just though. Southend have it here. Still in the centre circle with Morton. Over the top of Lewis. Out towards the right hand side. Scott Morris looking in field now as the option behind of Pye Forson. Uses him. Pye Forson turns and squares it. And now here's Taylor striding forwards. Taylor finds a Pye Forson in the box. Looks in the centre. Good clearance there for McCauley. And a shot block from McCauley. And then poked away from Hines. And now Southend have it back in the centre. Here's the goal scorer Golden. Heading into the box. Good drilling for Golden. Just gets the ball stuck on his foot though. And Hines can come away with it. And now Tariq Hines, low pass. Effiong, was he onside? No, he certainly wasn't.
2 yards offside there, but good pressure there from Southend, and Woking blocked the ball and kept it out, but again, ball bobbling around in the area. They put their bodies in line, which is creditable, but it's, as we were saying in the first half, it's a risky game.
Certainly is, and Okoli again with another block. He's been very, very good this evening. Although I have to say, he's on, apart from being on the yellow card, late challenge in that first half. But other than that, I'd say he's done really well tonight. Okoli coming back to the side, short free kick by the host, and there's a Pye Forson into the feet of Taylor. Taylor direct. Will he find Kendall on the right? He will do. Kendall gets under control, and Gus Scott Morris back to Kendall. Southend building on the right hand side. Kendall goes backwards to Pye Forson midway inside the Woking half. Again, moves it into the feet of Scott Morris. And now Pye Forson looking to come forward. Good challenge there from Andrews. Rolls here to Mortono, holding on Buterman against Southend. Still midway inside the Woking half. Ball back to Morton now. Morton now plays that across the face of Pye Forson to find Golden. Woking just backing off here. Golden heading towards the Woking area. Golden now looks at a give and go. Just couldn't quite have that link up in the end he wanted with Kendall. And then Gorman heading towards the corner flag on Woking's right hand side. Just need to clear his lines. Good aggressive start here from Southend.
Nothing on there from Dale Gorman. He was trying to look for the out ball, but it just wasn't there. So in the end he just gave away the free kick, throw-in.
Which has now been taken by Southend. Bridge into Bond. Bond drills in right footed. It's been blocked there from McCauley, and Southend let that run up for a corner kick. Some really good pressure. Nurali just turning back to the dugout, having some conversation with his staff. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, that was a dreadfully poor decision. It was pretty obvious though. Coley hit a Coley. I don't know what the referee saw.
That is baffling. That clearly came off Chinwike Coley, but yeah, I can understand Kevin Mayer, arms out wide, just looking baffled. Certainly venting his frustrations to the full official. Chicks and losing possession, so Southend have it back anyway. A Pye Force now leads it for Gus Scott Morris. Southend halfway in the Woking half, drilled low towards the box. Good hold up player from Hopper. Hopper now the back heel to Scott Morris on the byline. Block there from Andrews as Scott Morris attempting the cross. Heavy touch from Andrews, and Morton gets a cross. Again, Southend winning possession. Matt Woking struggling to get out their own half. Apaya Forson into the feet of Taylor. A few yards in front of halfway. Now back into the Southend half. Goodliff in possession. The centre circle. Now Goodliff eases away from Effiong. Still Goodliff. Right footed. Into the feet of Bridge. Now Bridge looking to face up Kelly Evans. Bridge level the penalty here. Bridge now onto his left foot. Bridge puts the cross in. Comes off the chest of Okoli. Still rolling inside the box. Hines gets under control. And Yaskline slides towards the ball. In the end, Woking dealt with that really well. And now Yaskline just calmed things down a bit. Woking early stage in the second half. But Woking just need to settle a bit. Southend have started the better of the two sides, and throw there for Yaskalainen. Picks out Chickson just behind halfway. Chickson now goes backwards to Tunji Akinola. That's in the Woking area where Yaskalainen would just launch this one towards halfway. Easy header there for Scott Morris, taken under control from Jamie Andrews. Chickson now has it back to Akinola. Andrews dropping deep again to Yaskalainen, telling his teammates to push up a bit higher. Square in his area to Akinola. This is better. This than Woking having a bit of possession now. Chickson to Lewis. Midway inside their own half. Lewis to Chickson. Again, just slows it down. Chickson turns. Back to Akinola. Now is Yaskalainen just in front of his 6-yard box. Cross to Okoli. Now Southend pressing high. Kelly Evans. Infield to Gorman. Back to Kelly Evans. And again, Southend's press causes Woking to give away a throw. Again, Woking just looking uncomfortable there. In the end, on their right hand side, just trying to knock it quickly. Gorman tried to play that to Kelly Evans, but in the end, didn't get that pass right. So a throw for Bridge. Must be a short one. It will indeed. Bridge to the feet of Morton. Bridge again. Southend hold it up with Bond on the stretch in the centre. Apaya Forson has it. And now Golden forwards on the left to Bridge again. Southend level with the penalty area. Hines and Kelly Evans trying to see off Bridge, but Bridge puts the pass in the box, and now again Bond out to the left hand side. Morton puts the cross in, and an off balance header well wide in the end, and there was a very inviting delivery there into the centre of the box. It was Scott Morris with the header. Stretch and went wide the target in the end.
Yeah, well, this has been a very, very strong first 6 minutes of the half, 6 or 7 minutes of the half from Southend, and Woking on the back foot. They're passing out from the back hasn't been totally comfortable.
I certainly have to agree with that, and Goodliff goes long towards the right hand side. Here's Charlie Kendall, right side the box. Charlie Kendall cutting in, being forced a little bit away from goal. Plays it to Apaya Forson, Southend edge of the area, inside right, now set up just behind the D for Golden. Golden now plays it to his left, back in the box of Bridge. Bridge now being stood up from Hines. Now it's Golden. Edge here inside D. Golden shot towards goal. Good save there from Yaskalainen. Golden may have thought for a split second he was going to get his second of the match, but Yaskalainen equal to it and pushed it out for a corner on the right.
Great shot from Golden, curling towards the corner, but you just knew that Will Yaskalainen was going to get that. He's had such a great season, and it was a great save.
He did
throwing himself to his left.
He did really well there, Will Yaskalainen. And as Ian said, he certainly has had a great season. Certainly the highlight was Saturday. Again, focus back on the league as Woking looking to get away from that drop zone. A point would have been a much welcome one, but Al Nilali would love another win on the road in Essex. So corner in from the right hand side towards the back post, goes through everyone. Don't think it took a nick there. It didn't. Goal kick to Woking. Certainly dangerous corner there from James Morton. As I say, went through everyone in the end. And that will be a goal kick for Woking. Just need to try and settle in this second half. I think Neil Ali just be relieved that his side aren't trailing with the start of the Southend men. Junior Marias warming up here on the near side for the Cards. Won't be surprised to see him come on. So short goal kick to Andrews. Kelly Evans now picks up Hines. That's a lovely turn there from Hines and was caught there from Golden. Just trying to stick tight times, but yeah, really nice touch with his right foot to turn away from Golden just inside the Woking half. And now again Woking bit of a chance to get the ball forwards, but they'll play the free kick short from the skipper Gorman. Andrews, Akinola, Woking just in front of their box in. Southend pressing high. Coley to Yaskalainen. Yaskalainen gets there for a ball. Not the greatest layoff there from Coley. Yaskalainen clears it towards the centre circle. Goodliff's header through the middle. Hopper flicks down, headed away from Akinola. And then in the end, offside there against Hopper. So again now last minute or so, Woking just starting to settle a bit into the second half, and Gorman will just throw that back for Jaskalainen to take this free kick for Neil Lali's side. And now Jaskalainen can probably be looking out to left there in the Effiong. Unsurprisingly, calling for that as the man he needs to be looking for really from these situations. Buteman just needs to get close, and Jaskalainen goes the diagonal. Can't find Effiong. Headed away there from Taylor. Flick off from Hopper inside the south end half. Gorman now back on halfway to Akinola. Akinola trying to get between two players and does get the pass away to Chickson. Now Denon Lewis backwards here to Andrews. Now Akinola. First time there from Gorman. Square to Andrews. Now Andrews down the inside left, and the deflection of a south end man. Lewis can try and chase onto it, but good work there from Taylor in the end. Couldn't quite get that under control. Taylor took deflection off him, but went towards the corner flag, kept up with Den Lewis and cleared that out for a Woking throw.
Bit better from Woking, and it's probably the first sustained time they've been in the Southend penalty area, top third this half.
Yeah, most certainly. And again, 10 minutes into the second half, and Woking haven't really had a chance to get forward. Southend are pressed well, but now, yeah, a chance for Woking to get a long throw into the box here. So now throwing Andrews from the left hand side, headed away there from Hopper. Chickson touch it here now, and Woking cut inside. Andrews heading towards the box. Andrews short pass. Now Lewis goes on his outside for Chickson. Chickson left foot across into the centre. Coley chance for Woking, and he heads wide of the target then, and quite a bit wide. He should have done better, that Chinwike Coley. Chance to get his and Woking second of the night. That was better though from Woking. Finally start to put a bit of pressure on.
Much better build up, dangerous ball into the box. It probably came a bit fast and a bit late at Coley, but he couldn't get a clean head on it, and goal kick now.
Yeah, certainly inviting delivery from Adam Chickson into the box, and it's just a shame that Coley couldn't put it into the back of net. So goal kick from Hayes. Header one from that man Coley, looping up in the centre circle. Hines volleys it forwards, too far in front of Beatman, volleyed away from Golden, back into the Woking half. Hopper in the centre circle, heads it backwards. Golden though gets onto it on the bouncing ball, heads it now to left hand side for Bridge. Bridge taking on Hines, has Kelly Evans for company. Hines puts the challenge in, ball still rolls in the box. Hines turns and clears it with his left. On as far as Morton. Here is Golden, again zooming around and loses his footing, and now Beatman just flicks that back to Hines. Hines drives and field in his own half. Now Hines, that's a lovely pass to Den Lewis. Now Lewis, edge of the box. Lewis onto his right foot. Lewis still causing Den Lewis, can't find that shooting opportunity, waste it, and then Ben Goodliffe flung himself towards the wall to clear it to the 10 circle, where Gorman and Akodi play 1-2. And now Akinola over halfway, brought down. That'll be a free kick to Woking. Good chance there for Den Lewis.
It was an absolutely terrific ball from Tariq Hines. I was just about to say that for me, he's been Woking's man of the match. He's been excellent all over the place, and that. But not only that was a beautiful pass, and Denon Lewis couldn't capitalise on it. But Woking now with a free kick and back with some pressure.
And Woking lose the ball from the free kick. Got Scott Morris towards halfway, controlled here from Akinola. Gorman, now Cody, first time again to his left to Akinola. Woking with Chickson, a few yards into the south end half. Chickson lifts it, search for Beatman, headed away comfortably from Taylor. And now Pye Forson into the feet of Taylor. Again Taylor looking for the head of Kendall. Header one there from Akinola, will be a throw for Southend. Yeah, I agree on Tariq Hines. I think he's been excellent midfield tonight. Just shows what a versatile player he is, and that deal he has to the end of the season. Going to be fighting to try and have a long-term future at Woking. Tariq Hines, short throw to Apaya Forson. Got Scott Morris as Southend about to enter the attacking third. Now back low to Apaya Forson, another player I think's done really well midfield this evening. Down the centre circle with Ben Goodliffe. 58.5 minutes played. Southend United 1, Woking 1. Goodliffe, wrong foot to Effiong. Just about stays on his feet in the Effiong. Square now to Taylor. Short to Apaya Forson. Southend on the far side. Infield to Taylor. Back in the Southend half to Goodliffe. Golden in a bit of room, but it will be received by Morton in the centre circle. Southend just beyond halfway now. Drill from Morton about 20 yards too far there in front of Bridge. Bridge puts the thumbs up though. Again, he was pleased with the intent, just the execution not quite good enough to find a Southend left wing back.
And the Southend intensity, it might be my imagination, but just in the last few minutes it seems to have dropped a little. Woking have had a bit more of the ball, and Woking fans will be hoping that they can build on this, that they've sort of drawn a bit of the sting and can now begin to be more adventurous themselves.
It's taking a bit of time to settle the second half Woking, but they are starting to do that now. Chickson towards Effiong. Effiong can't control it the way he wants to. The chest on halfway, surrounded by a few Southend players. Now Gus Scott Morris looking towards the box, but can't find the run there of Charlie Kendall. Kendall puts a thumbs up though. They're the types of balls that Kendall wants. Try and run it behind again. He knows this set of players very, very well. So he'll know maybe some weaknesses which some of his teammates won't quite know as well. Jääskeläinen throw to Chickson. Back to Akinola. Picks out Andrews. Andrews quickly squares Chickson first time. And now Chickson again turns and lays that forward to Den Lewis to chase. Lewis using his pace there to put the pressure on Taylor. Lewis leaning into Taylor. Taylor stays composed, turns away. Booth's been chasing the ball down. Here's Scott Morris. Now towards halfway, but Akinola beats Kendall to the ball, but Kendall just knocked off balance a bit, and that just bounced off Akinola's chest for a Southend throw. Our played it at Rootsall, one apiece in Southend, and Woking, Okoli put Woking in front inside the first 5 minutes, but just over 10 minutes for half time. Smashing finish in the box from James Golden to put Southend level. Throw from Gus Scott Morris. Headed backwards from Chickson, and then Chickson knocks it away to Andrews. Fortin Lewis. Faint flick on there from Effiong. Beautiful though, can't get to it, and time for goal. Time there for Goodliff to play that back to his goalkeeper. It's cleared long now. Gorman lays that down. In the end, Effiong couldn't get to it before Pyer Forson. Golden through the gap of Effiong Beautyman. Bit of time now for Taylor. So now Southend can try and just enjoy a bit of possession just inside their own half. Although again, the head coach Kevin Mayer wants it played a bit quicker. Morton across to Golden. Golden now into the Woking half. Golden inside left. Moves it further in the middle. Pyer Forson back with a light pass first time to Morton. Then Bridge brought down there from Kelly Evans. Clear free kick there for Southend United. Morton lays it down, but just be taking a bit of time now. I thought he was going to take that quickly. Now he does take it. Morton to Bridge. Left hand side of the box is Golden. Golden tempts the cross. Good ball there from Gorman. Gorman screaming for a goal kick. His appeals aren't met. Here's a corner on the left hand side for Southend. They try to ramp up the pressure here. Again, Southend chasing down a place in the top 7. Not great news for them. Well, there wasn't great news then that Altrincham were leading. Now it's 1-1 between York and Altrincham. York desperately trying to keep up with Barnet, who are 3-0 up against Yeovil at the moment. Corner for Morton to deliver from the left hand side. Both arms raised now. It's already Morton. Left footed. Not great, it's the corner. So Kelly Evans misses the ball, but then Woking control it with Gorman. Gorman brought down inside the 6-yard box, and that's a free kick. Relief there, Kelly Evans. I thought was going to smash that way, but not in the end. And,
yeah, Dale Gorman. Yeah, Kelly Evans really mistimed it, and then Dale Gorman went to kick it, and he was caught before he could get the ball. And
they didn't clear the first one. They had a chance to clear the first one. I think they let shanked it.
Yeah, huge relief there for Woking. Again, Dion Kelly Evans thought it was going to be a simple clearance, but thankfully Gorman was there behind, and he was fouled. And now will Jääskeläinen to take the free kick.
It's the sort of one you can easily shank into your own goal, isn't it? And it almost looked like that was what was going to happen, but thankfully Woking got away from it.
Yeah, most certainly. Goodliff heads away the free kick. Flicked on now for the centre circle from Bond. Here comes Southend through the middle. Hopper. Edge of the box, Hopper onto his right foot, but Woking get men back. Hopper squares it. Here's Scott Morris onto his right foot. Oh, that's brilliant! That's a brilliant strike there for Gus Scott Morris, and Southend have turned it around just over the hour mark. Gus Scott Morris smashed it with the lace of his right boot, and it is a Southend talisman that has turned things around here at Rootsall. No chance for Jääskeläinen with that one. Southend United 2, Woking 1.
What a great goal that was from Gus Scott Morris. He caught it beautifully, and nothing really Will Jääskeläinen could do, and sort of everything now for Woking to do. They need to pick themselves up, and perhaps the management will ring the changes a little bit, but Woking now, that one thing they have shown in these last few months is great spirit, and this is going to be a real test for that spirit. Harry Beautyman there, sort of with his arms stirring his teammates up, and but obviously the crowd now, they're up, having seen their side go ahead, and there's been good pressure from Southend this half, and Woking have had their moments, but it's been some excellent play from Southend.
Yeah, just haven't really been able to get fouled the second half. Woking, not surprising that Southend have turned it around, but Woking need to show that spirit. Have just over 25 minutes to do so. Kelly Evans, over halfway, down the right-hand side. Buteman chasing the ball down, and that's cleared away from Golden onto the Rufus stand, which he and I are situated in the nice press box though. And Kelly Evans now leaves it for Andrews to take the throw in the attacking third for the Cards.
Jamie Andrews has now discovered a long throw. I haven't seen him do these before, but he's done a few that get a fair way into the penalty area.
So Jamie Andrews now releases the long throw right into the centre, headed away there by Macaulay Bond. And that's great work on the left-hand side by Charlie Kendall to round Dion Kelly Evans. Now looking in the centre for Bond, and Bond can't receive the pass because Chickson cuts it out, falls back to Kendall. Now Woking get men back and bridge infield to Morton, as Woking need to make sure this game doesn't get away from them. With 25 minutes to go, Southend 2, Woking 1. Gus Scott Morris a couple of minutes ago put the home side in front. They're just calming things down now in possession. No need for Southend to rush a Pie Force, and back to Goodliff. Here's Hayes. Hayes searching for Hopper. Headed one from Akinula, but goes onto the chest of Gus Scott Morris. Gus Scott Morris, edge of the box, puts the cross towards the near post, just bounces off Bond in the end, headed back towards his own goal, almost went in. It's Dale Gorman. And Roy Ascalani was stranded there. And huge relief for Woking that Dale Gorman didn't score an own goal.
I'm sure he would say it was all under control, but it was frightfully close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly was. I really thought for a split second that the skipper was going to head one into his own net. Junior Moraes to come on very shortly for Woking, as Neil Lally given his last instructions to him. So corner for Bridge to deliver from the left hand side towards the back post. Bit of push and shove and go on the box, and the referee waves it away though. And now Kendall by the corner flag on the right, inside to Pie Forson. Pie Forson trying to drag it away from Lewis, but gives it to Gorman in the end. Now Lewis clears away from his box, and Woking struggling to get out now. Buteman chasing from the front.
He runs so. Considering he's not the youngest Harry Buteman, but he just runs and runs and runs till he can't run anymore.
Yeah, he's a joy to watch. Yeah, my time covering Sutton, again, outstanding footballer Harry Buteman, and was a massive part of why Sutton went up to the Football League. Long ball from Hayes towards the right hand side, flicked on from Gus Scott Morris. It took off Scott Morris last. Again, Woking just need to settle things here. Still in the game, 67 minutes played. Southend United 2, Woking 1.
Yeah, and if any of the players' heads are dropping or they're thinking, Harry Buteman won't let them. He's constantly gesturing and geeing up.
And here's Harry Buteman through. Andrews long ball flipped backwards. And now Buteman, left hand side of the box. Buteman shot into the bottom corner. All level here, Ruto. Harry Buteman with terrific finish. Left footed. A mistake for a Southend defender. Flipped backwards. Buteman got him behind into the area, shifted it onto his left foot, and classic Harry Buteman style composed finish. Hits it with his left foot. It's the bottom corner, 2-piece.
What a class footballer Harry Buteman is. Not just his skill, but his energy and his passion, his enthusiasm. We were just saying he was G'ing the team up, and then he showed how it's to be done himself, with twisting and turning, and then low into the bottom corner, and all square again. And we said Woking had a mountain to climb. Well, they've climbed this particular one, and we move on in the game. And it looks like Junior Moraes is coming on.
Excellent spirit from Woking again. As you alluded to in Harry Buteman, that leadership from the front, non-stop run, it paid off, just ran him behind and finished that one off brilliantly. So substitution, as mentioned a couple of times, Junior Moraes now finally to come on. Dion Kelly Evans off, not looking best pleased, but again Junior Moraes, can he score the winning goal like he did in Woking's last away win at Dagenham, at his former stomping ground? What a night that was. He scored a cracker of an opening goal for Woking. Brett Guides talked to as well. Junior Moraes spoke to him after the game that night. So 2 apiece, and you feel like there'll be maybe a goal or two more in this match. A long ball from Goodliff, flicked on down the right hand side by Scott Morris. Chickson gets to it, clears out to Southend. I've got to try and respond to the setback And 2-2, certainly a fair reflection. It's been a real good game between two good sides in this league. So Scott Morris to take the throw, short into Pye Forson, back to Scott Morris, closed out for Andrews. Scott Morris sends in the cross, and a great header away there, and it was a Coley who got there first, but it came off Macaulay Bonner, according to the officials last. I personally thought the angle I had it came off for Coley. Kevin Mayer screaming to the fourth official, but it is a goal kick to Woking in the end.
Well, if Kevin Mayer wasn't feeling persecuted by the referee before, he certainly is now. I couldn't get a clear enough view of that to say which way it went, but it wasn't as clear cut as the original one.
Yeah, I have to admit that original one was really, really poor decision. But I thought that one did come after diving over Coley again. Him and Macaulay Bond going down towards Kevin Mayer, furious still as Yasline now takes the goal kick. 20 minutes to go. Southend 2, Woking 2. What a 20 minutes this could be. Gorman. Square now for Hines. Hines just in front of halfway. Has an infield run of Lewis. Lewis receives it. Back to Hines. Hines now. Again, Gorman almost in line now. Gorman just checks back now. It's gone to Marais. First touch is coming off. Junior Marais. Harry Butons from Woking have their tails up now. Midway inside the Southend half. On the left hand side, Chickson plays it forwards. Wasn't in tandem with Butesman. And now Pye falls and taking a few steps back before he clears us forwards. Header one from Andrews. Can Woking keep us in play? It's really good to poke that back tackle. I think it was Butesman who got to it. No surprise. And Gorman just goes down the centre circle. Southend fans not pleased that one. Clever free kick one there by Del Gorman just to calm things down.
For those longer term Woking fans, that was Josh Casey-esque.
Yeah, good work there from Del Gorman again. Yeah, nice Josh Casey impersonation, but that will do very, very nicely for Woking now as Del Gorman to play this one short. Thought he was going to go long for a set, but no, goes short to Tariq Hines. Out to Den Lewis. Hines making that infield run towards the box, and Lewis looks at him. Hines running behind. He's on the byline. Hines low ball in, cleared away. Falls towards Lewis. Now poked out the box and bridge. On his far as Andrews. Squaring out to Marais. Working about 22, 23 yards on the left hand side with Marais. Marais just slows it down. And now Andrews. Line up a shot. Andrews goes low. Easily cleared away from Golden from the D. Now finally Woking putting some real pressure on that goal. Has changed everything. Gorman to Hines. Just the front halfway. Can Woking make this pressure count and get the lead for the second time this evening? Lewis entering the attacking third towards box. Lewis skips over a challenge there. Morton out to Hines. Hines has Lewis trying to get on the overlap. Now he does link up with Lewis, but he was a few yards behind him. Lewis stabs in the cross towards the back post, headed away out the box, drops to Andrews just beyond the D. Andrews gets under control, zips it out to Marais. Woking piling on the pressure. Marais, few step overs, heavy touch on the byline though, and it's out of play for a goal kick. Junior Marais just couldn't get his feet sorted there. Goal kick to Southend United. Again, Woking piling on the pressure now.
Woking have really picked it up, not just the goal, but in the last 10 minutes they've really picked it up. It looks now as if Southend are going to make their own changes, try and counter the Woking resurgence.
Jack Bridge has gone down there for Southend United. Just give you the latest scores in National League. File 2, Hartlepool 1. Goals is in Aldershot and Dagenham. Barnet 3, Yeovil 0. 0-0 team Boston. Oldham Eastleigh 2-0 up against the basement side FC United. Forest Green are Pool 1 back against Halifax. What a game to Maidenhead and Braintree 3-2 in Maidenhead's favour. Goalless team Rochdale and Gateshead 1 apiece in Solihull and Sutton. Tamworth lead Wealdstone by 2-0 and 1 apiece in York and Altrincham. Here at Roots Hall, Jack Bridge down at the moment is 2 apiece here with 73 minutes on the clock. So again, a bit of time for a few players to have a quick drink and just some instructions for Neil Lardy and his coaching staff. It looks to be Leon Parallon to come on along with George Wind in a double substitution for Southend. So Jack Bridge, who was down, is coming off it. Southend be open. That's nothing too serious for Jack Bridge. It's a nice round of applause here by the Southend faithful. So first player on is number 4, George Wind, and Leon Parallon to come on in a second as well. Tariq Hines just receiving quick instruction as well from Neil Ardley, and Charlie Kendall coming off as well. Again, good to see Charlie Kendall again, and he's putting a real hard work and shift. Had a few moments first half to try and score, but Charlie Kendall again. The Southend fans certainly taking to him, and Parallon coming on in his place.
Good lad, Charlie Kendall, but I dare say Woking fans are pleased he's gone off, because there was, I'm sure, the vast majority were thinking this is the sort of game that Charlie Kendall could get a goal. So at least that won't be the case tonight.
Yeah,
but he's a good lad, and good luck to him in his career.
Yeah, most certainly. Again, he certainly scored a couple of rockets for Woking this season as well. A long ball from Hayes, cleared away from Akinola. Header from Wind, out to left-hand side. Well, thought he was going to chase someone down, just gave it up though. Then Lewis would have had that covered, I imagine. Anyway, throw for Woking, halfway into their territory. Backwards there from Hines. Okoli flicks up in the air, nice turn for Okoli from Hopper. Hines, infield to Gorman. Skipper goes behind him to Okoli. Jaskalainen. Bond slowly approaching him, but goes to the right to Okoli. Chance of Woking just enjoy a bit of possession. Hines just drifting field like Parallon wasn't even there. Excellent work from Hines. Now Andrews travelling over halfway on the far side. Andrews now into the feet. Chickson takes on the stretch and did get his touch right after it. Not the greatest of passes. Two in Chickson's defence. Taylor down the right hand side, and there was a clear pull there from Tunji Akinola on Macaulay Bond, and that will be a free kick. Again, I think a few Southend fans called for Akinola to have a second yellow, but that certainly wasn't a second yellow there. Just an easy free kick for the referee to give. And Tariq Hines has gone down there. Hopefully it's just a bit of cramp again. Last thing Woking need is another injury.
Having said that, Frank Vincent was called over straight away by Neil Ardley, and he's getting ready to perhaps replace Tariq Hines.
I can only hope it's a bit of cramp. They don't want to risk him further. Again, he's been excellent tonight. Tariq Hines, really like him in midfield actually. Again, it just shows his versatility. And Frank Vincent, a good solid player to bring on. Again, he put a lovely cross in for that Matt Ward winner last month against Solihull Moors. And yeah, Hines still just down receiving treatment at the moment. So Dan Moss to come on here for Woking. So again, good to see Dan Moss back.
Dan Moss coming on, not Frank Vincent.
So I thought Dan Moss. Frank Vincent would have been the best replacement. But
I think I saw him preparing, but I maybe he may well be. But it's at the moment it's Dan Moss.
Yeah, so Dan Moss now set to enter the stage here at Roots Hall. Really good game for Tariq Hines again. Yeah, good to see Dan Moss again. He came on the game on Saturday at Oxford City, and that one ended 2-2. And the difference, obviously, this one won't be having a dramatic penalty shootout, but it stays the same. And Dan Moss on the field now. Hopefully nothing serious. Tariq Hines after asking Neil Lardley about that after the match, but again, that still feels a while away. Got 30 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Free kick to the hosts on the far side, about 5-6 yards behind halfway line. It's a slip there from Taylor. He took the free kick, but did find a teammate in Bond. Macaulay Bond to Scott Morris. Buteman chasing him down. Scott Morris trying to cut inside. He does do so. Goes backwards on that far side though. Cross sent in towards near post. Good head away there from Akinola out of the area. Header forwards there from Morton. Volley there from Effiong. Can't find Mariah Stoke. The challenge comes in from Buteman. Referee thought it wasn't the best of challenges, and it was a foul there from Buteman on Pia Forson. Again, the Southend fans call for Buteman's comfort will just be a yellow card though, and that is the right decision, in my opinion, by the referee Ryan Atkin.
So 5 cards is it now for Woking?
Yep, it is indeed.
At least they've slowed it down this half.
Yeah, again, 4 of them coming in, of course, in that first half where I think Neil Ardley would have said at half time, I imagine, definitely to tone that down. So free kick here for Southend. Again, they desperately want to keep up with the top 7 to give themselves a chance of making playoffs. In the season, still a lot of football though to be played. And again, Woking are in a good position to be safe, but and that job is far from done soon. It's getting something would go a long way towards that this evening. So free kick to be put in there very shortly, but a bit of push and shoving going on here. Things involving Ini Effiong and Tom Hopper. So free kick still waiting to be put in. Finally this will be taken about 6-7 yards into Woking off on the far side. Drilled right to the centre of the box, head into the centre, and lifted over the bar, and went onto the roof and net in the end. It was a header one into the centre by Southend man. It was a substitute. Leon Parallon guides it, instep his right foot, but could only put it onto the roof of Jääskeläinen's net. Still 2-2. And Jääskeläinen would have been very relieved to see that one sail onto the roof of his net. So it's a long ball from Akinola from the short goal kick. Effiong holding it up just behind halfway on the left. Back to Chickson. Chickson now searching for Buteman. Defeat in the air by Taylor. Volley from Scott Morris. Flick on one there, and a running behind from Hoppen. Jääskeläinen comes out with there. The flick on one by Bond, but good work from Jääskeläinen. That one goes onto the roof of the stand opposite T tonight. So throw here for Southend to take. A few yards into working territory by Scott Morris. Pye Forson returns to Scott Morris. Pye Forson in possession again. Being pressed by Andrews. It's gone back in the Southend half. Now to the middle of the back three is Goodliff. Now Golden. Down the inside left. He's into the Woking half. On his outside is Wind. Back here to Morton. And now Goodliff, short, Pye Forson. First time outside of his right foot to Morton. Morton, diagonal ball towards the box. Header one from Bond towards the back post. Hopper hits it back across the face of goal. Too high for Bond. Sells over Buteman. Said flag is up though against Southend. Again, Woking can just relax with 10 minutes to go. Southend United 2, Woking 2. What's been a really entertaining game. I feel like anyone could win this one. If Woking were to win, they'd be on to 42 points, 8 away from Neil Lali's target of 50. As it stands, they can't move up to any higher up in the table though, but the points is all that matters really. They're staying away from that drop zone. So Woking playing it across the back from the short free kick. Now Chickson to Akinola, goes long, header one there by Scott Morris. Handball peels there from Gorman, nothing again, drops to Lewis anyway. Lewis tackled by Wynn, but again rolls kindly for Gorman, just behind halfway towards the run of Moss, and it was too high there. Fall down Moss in the end. Not the greatest of passes from Dale Gorman. Would have been relief not score an own goal. And while back in this half, throw from Wind to Golden, across the face of Goodliff to the right side, it's centre back Harry Taylor, the skipper, gets away from Inni Effiong. Still Taylor, long ball forwards, and Woking playing the offside trap, but gets away from Hopper anyway. Can't do the Jääskeläinen to gather and roll it to Dale Gorman. Gorman to Moss. Moss now turns onto his right foot. Here is Chimuke Coley, pressing from Hopper here towards Jääskeläinen. To his left to Akinola. Now is Adam Chickson. Chickson looks at Buteman. Buteman turns nicely. That's great pass of Buteman into Gorman. First time some really good football from Woking's midfield. Now Marais powering through the middle. Here's Junior Marais. Gets beyond his man. Marais, can he feed a pass? He does do so to Inni Effiong. Effiong onto his right foot. Effiong now in solid D. Being taken away from goal. Marais, Woking, edge of the box. Now on the right hand side with Lewis. Overlapping on of Moss. Lewis puts in the cross. Blocked. Gorman touch into the box. Still Dale Gorman dribbling. Dale Gorman edge of the 6-yard box. Tackle content for Golden. And deflects off Dale Gorman last, and that is a goal kick to Southend. Dale Gorman did
promising stuff there from Woking. Good move forward, and Effiong, you thought might pull the trigger and then played it inside, and in the end not to be. But great break, great build up from the back there from Woking. That was a time it really did work well.
Yeah, some really nice football, particularly from Woking's midfield. That build up from the back, and Hayes' goal kick sails out for a Woking throw. So 7 minutes of normal time to go here at Roots Hall. Southend United 2, Woking 2. Throw goes back, it's Akinola being chased down here by Macaulay Bond. Jääskeläinen almost gave it away. Andrew steps in there, and in the end gives away a corner kick there. Jamie Andrews passed that to his left hand side, and Peeling was fouled there, Jamie Andrews. Nothing given though. It will be a corner kick to Southend on the right with James Morton to take, and that was a time where Woking playing out from the back turned out to be a little bit risky, but
very risky actually. They could easily have got caught out.
So Morton now to deliver from this right hand side. Have we got a winning goal here at Roots Hall? Morton towards near post, flicked away from goal in the end. Not the best of headers, I wouldn't say it was the best of corners though from Morton in defence, and Macaulay Bonnie met that. Bit of an awkward header for him. Did well to get some contact, but well away from the target. So Woking goal kick, and again play out from the back. It has its risk, but it worked a moment ago and Woking would create a good goal scoring opportunity, but they gave away a corner but weren't punished. And goal kick now for Jääskeläinen, and this one will certainly be going direct with everyone squeezing up high. So Jääskeläinen releases it with his left foot, looking for Effiong. Effiong did well to win the flick on, can't reach a forward teammate though, and Gus Scott Morris clears it down the right hand side, and Hopper chasing down towards the ball, but in the end will be free kick to Southend. Yes,
free
it
kick
will be.
against Effiong, which, considering he is surrounded by 2 or 3 players, is it's a bit of a strange one.
I was surprised. Didn't think that was a free kick personally, but the referee he thought otherwise. So a free kick to be taken here by Southend. So Morton drilling just behind halfway. Morton into the box. Flick on from Macaulay Bomber. Jääskeläinen comes and collects it. Good work there from Will Jääskeläinen. Nice flick on from Bomb, but Jääskeläinen was alert to it. 5 minutes to go here, normal time at Roots Hall. Set up very nicely. 2 apiece between Southend United and Woking.
A lot of grappling as that ball came in, and heart in mouth. I mean, I think there are some people near me wondered if that should have been a penalty. Oh, sloppy there from Chickson.
Yep.
And Southend back on the front foot.
And he gave that way to Gus Scott Morris. Now Morton long towards the right hand side, and Southend cut in. Here's Parallon weaving into the box. Parallon trying to get between a few working players. Tackle from Beatsman. That's on the edge of the box as Gus Scott Morris delivers. Head from ball. What a save from Will Jääskeläinen! And that is why he's a real contender to win Woking Player of the Season. Outstanding there from Will Jääskeläinen. Macaulay Bond thought he was going to win that, but Will Jääskeläinen tipped that over the bar. Excellent save.
An inviting cross coming into one of the best strikers in non-league, and but Will Jääskeläinen was up to the challenge, and a brilliant save to push it over. But Woking under pressure.
Certainly are. Not what Lil Ali would have wanted really, especially after having the momentum, getting that equaliser for you beaten. But a point would be a good result for Woking if they can hang on. Have they got a moment in them to try and get that winning goal? 4 minutes to go here at Roots Hall. 2 apiece between Southend and Woking. Corner from Morton for Southend. Right into the mixer. Headed towards goal. Save from Jääskeläinen. It came from Gus Scott Morris. Headed down. Not a lot of power. And that one was a lot more simple save for Will Jääskeläinen to make. But he's still going to make it. And now Woking can try and just push up a bit. And Jääskeläinen not looking to release this one quickly. Rolls it to Akinola. Akinola. Bring it out of defence. Short to Gorman, clips it to Moss, keeps his balance, controls right footed. Just over halfway to Marais. Now Marais turns. Marais over the top to Lewis. Now Woking on the front foot. Lewis enters the box. Then Lewis puts the low ball in the centre. Cleared away. Falls to Jamie Andrews. Andrews drills it wide. Did it take a deflection? No, it didn't. It is a goal kick to Southend. Big chance there for Jamie Andrews to get the one on target, but not the strike he wanted in the end, Jamie Andrews.
Chances coming at both ends now, and that was a lovely ball from Junior Marais, put in Denon Lewis, who played it across, and it came back to Jamie Andrews, whose shot went wide, and that was just following Southend having chances at the other end. So it really is end to end at the end of this game.
So Danny Waldron has come on for Macaulay Bond. So Waldron and Hopper both off the bench to be that centre forward pairing. Hayes goal kick. Header there from Moss. Headed back forwards by Gullif. Now another header forwards from Woking. Golden heads away. Flip backwards from Buteman. Gorman just in front of centre circle. Heads it down from Marais. Now Marais. Nice touch there from Junior Marais. Turns and goes back here to Gorman. Gorman to Marais. Woking about 22 yards in goal. Marais puts the cross. It's blocked by Morton. Morton gets onto the bouncing ball and tried to prevent it from going for a corner kick. Couldn't do so. And the Woking fans being G'd up here. Corner on the right side.
What a time this would be for Woking fans to see their team score.
Most certainly, Woking have already scored from a corner this evening. That feels a long time ago when Cody scored in the 5th minute. Can they do so again late on the game? Dale Gorman, unsurprisingly, to deliver. Jamie Andrews there, possible short option. There's no way this is going short. Surely get it into the box and see what happens. So Dale Gorman in front of the noisy Woking faithful. Made the journey here to Southend this evening and made some really good noise. Even the Woking fans use credit to them. So Gorman puts in the corner kick, headed away. Out the box, and now Andrews being chased down for a pie. Forson back to Chickson in the centre circle. Chickson, left footed, spin out towards Akinola. Akinola chasing the ball by the corner flag, gets onto it. Akinola now in space on the byline. Cuts it back for Gorman. Woking, edge of the box. Gorman, cross in, headed away at the near post by Ben Goodliff. And now Gorman looking just see this one off for a throw. So now Woking in the last minute of normal time, pushing Southend back. Throw by the corner flag. Jamie Andrews to take. Can Woking find a winning goal? Again, really good pressure from Woking after looking like it was going to be Southend to have all the late pressure. The way things are going, but Woking have turned the momentum now. So Andrews throwing towards near post, so Cody can't get his hand net, headed away towards Parallon, hooks out the box, Apai Forson chasing down the ball on Southend's left, and Gorman just flings himself to it and nods it out for a Southend throw. No, it's a throw to Woking. Again, I thought that took off Del Gorman last. Understand why Kevin May and all the Southend fans are absolutely furious around us, but it is 5 minutes of stoppage time here at Roots Hall. Can we find that winning goal? It stands at 2 apiece. Jamie Andrews to take the throw for Woking in the first minute of stoppage time. Again, this one will be going long by the looks of it. It is indeed. Jamie Andrews into the area. Again, Southend get it away. A shot from Rice falls to the feet of Akinola. Akinola leaning back. And the end, that one went well over the bar. And still 2 apiece.
Well, this game certainly isn't petering out, is it? It's 5 minutes at a time, and it's as full blood as ever. Both teams giving their all. Both teams looking for the winner.
Can we find it? Hayes goal kick bounces in. It's a flick on, cleared away there from Chickson. Flick on one from Waldron. And now out to the right hand side for Morton. Controlled there from Chickson. We chase down from Waldron. Chickson clears it out for a throw to Southend. Again, it was a decent chance there for Akinola, but maybe it fell to the wrong man, just leaning back. I think Woking fans really felt that Akinola had shooting boots on the last day of last season over that. And season-saving win over Filed. Throw down the right-hand side and held up here from Parallon. Crossing for Scott Morris. Head up into the air there from Hopper. Now Jaskalainen punches away. Drops it to Gorman. Gorman holding off a Pie Force, and Gorman trying to go down inside the box. A free kick given to Woking, and Kevin May again animated on the sidelines. And Gorman, probably another clever free kick one there by Del Gorman. Not the first time this evening. He was anticipating the contact, and Del Gorman did well for his side to win the free kick. And again, Woking so far managing that 5 minutes of stoppage time well. So we're approaching the second minute. Then Will Jaskalainen just needing a bit of treatment here.
And looking at 2, you've got Simon Bassey and Neil Ardley standing impassively watching this game, and Kevin Mayer, on the other hand, the Southend manager, is jumping up and down, yelling into the ground, feeling they're not getting the rub of the green on decisions, but obviously frustrated that their team, having been 2-1 up, have been pegged back, and so far are struggling to really get that winner which they so desperately need to keep the playoff push going, whereas Woking desperately need the point just to keep that unbeaten run going and to move on to 40 points and begin to look further up the table in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think Kevin May and Neil Lally just actually have a little laugh at each other now. So again, things just simmer. That's actually, I think really Kevin May's anger is more to the 4 officials than any of the Woking coach and staff. Again, as you mentioned, Ian, Simon Bass and Neil Lally staying nice and cool on the sidelines. The referee's coming over, mentioned about the frustration with Kevin Mayer, and a yellow card is going to be shown to the Southend head coach, and not met very well by the Southend faithful, but
no, a few gestures going towards the referee in front of us, which I won't describe on BBC radio. So free kick to be hit here from Will Jaskalainen. 3 minutes of the 5 of stoppage time gone. And I suspect at least another 1 or 2 being added.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And Jaskalainen looking for Effion. Wins the flick on. Volleyed forward to Goodliff. Now Akinola needs to chase down the bounce. Akinola looks to back to his goalkeeper, and Jaskalainen gets there. Again, Akinola was a bit awkward there. The bounce for Jaskalainen. Thought was just going to roll around there, and it's so fun watching Kevin May on the sidelines. It really is entertainment. And it's been fantastic entertainment on the pitch as well this evening. Jaskalainen now towards the left hand side. Bounced away from Effion. Now hit forward some Goodliff. Can Woking hold out for a point? So attacking momentum seems to have gone down. Stoppage line. Chickson hits that one out of the ground. Throw for Southend on the right hand side. 2 apiece into the last minute stoppage time. As Ian said a moment ago, I do imagine a minute or 2 extra will be added on with the stoppages we've had in the stoppage time at the end of this game. And it is
long throw to come in. It looks like it'll be a long throw to come in.
Yeah, Scott Morris to take it. No, it isn't. It's a short throw to Pier Fortin, but it's over that towards Scott Morris. What a waste there from Southend, and now just a bit of a chance of Woking, just to compose themselves. Almost there. What be a vital point for the Cards. Chickson just coming across now to take the throw deep inside Woking's half. Chickson on the far side. Looking down the line for either Effie or Marias. Throw taken with actually put forwards there from Andrews. Drops it to Marias. Marias manages to play that off to Moss. A few yards behind halfway. Now Moss into Southend half. So one last chance of Woking. Moss to Lewis. Lewis now lays it backwards to Gorman. Gorman direct search for Moss. Head away there from Golden. Southend can't keep it in play. It was Parallon trying to get to it. So over the 5 minutes of stoppage time now. Again, Woking just taking their time. Not really a huge urgency to maybe make that one opportunity. Woking be more than happy with the point, especially when they were trailing through that fantastic finish with Scott Morris to get his 15th of the season. So Dan Moss just over halfway in the Southend half to take the throw for Woking. So over the 5 minutes of stoppage time, Moss taking his time with his throw. Now he releases it. Bounce off Effiong, cleared away by the home side. And now Okoli battling with Waldron. Bounce off Waldron now on the halfway line. Akinoja smacks it away for a goal kick. There'll be one last chance for Southend to get it forwards. So again, almost a minute over. Allocated 5. So again, Nick Hayes has got to get this forwards quickly. Hayes, right-footed ball. And now looking towards the inside right, head away from Akinola. And Woking almost there. Taylor to take the throw for Southend. Again, Southend fans get a bit restless, just want their captain to take the throw, which he now does. Header one there by Andrews. Now Gorman heads over halfway for Marias to chase down. Marias heading towards Taylor. Taylor back to Hayes. Hayes, right side of his box, goes long. Still in stoppage time. 6.5 minutes in stoppage time. Header one there from McCauley in the centre circle. Now Lewis chase it down on the right hand side. It counts the header, win last. That will do nicely for Woking as Dan Moss almost ran to his manager there. And Dan Moss now just taking his time with this throw. Almost there now, Woking getting the point. Or can they create one last opportunity? Moss down the right hand side. Flick on from Effiong. There goes the full-time whistle. Fair result here at Roots Hall. It's finished 2 apiece between Southend and Woking. Woking took lead inside the first 5 minutes. Corner for Del Gorman. Volleyed in by Chinwike Okoli into the roof of net. What a finish it was. But Southend hit back with just over 10 minutes to go to half-time. Smashed into the roof of net by James Golden for a nice Southend move. Then a half hour later, Scott Morris produced a brilliant shot inside the box to get his 15th of the season. No chance will Yaskine, but Woking hit back, knocked him after. Harry Buteman tucking into the back of net after long balls flipped backwards on the Southend defender. Buteman got him behind, stay composed, and finished into the keeper's bottom left hand corner. Both sides huffed and puffed, but overall in, probably say it's a fair result.
Very fair result. I thought that was an enthralling game. I thought both sides played football the right way. Both gave their all. Both had moments of class. Southend probably edged the pressure and territory, but Woking kept going, and their spirit, particularly in the last 20 minutes, was just incredible. So, and to get back on level terms was a great effort. And no, all in all, a really good game of football. Good advert for National League football. Woking move on to 40 points. Another game unbeaten. But a point on the road at Southend is nothing to be sniffed at. They must be very pleased, and Neil Ardley must be very pleased as well. And it's on to Boston.
Yeah, great point for Woking as the players now go across towards the travelling fans. Yeah, again, a battling point for the Cards, as Ian said, on to 40 points now, still in 16th place, but a vital point on the road. Blow for Southend's playoff hopes, they go down to 10th, and they are 6 points off of the top 7. Altrincham picking up a vital 3 points away at York as their push now to go up automatically is fading. But thanks for listening this evening. BBC Radio Surrey's coverage here at Roots Hall. Southend United 2, Woking 2. It's Boston away on Saturday for the Cards, and we'll see you then.